Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Heart and Parcel English and cooking class. Hello, everybody in the chat. I've been watching your conversations about all your delicious food and where you are. Welcome if you're just watching and not communicating in the chat, that's fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, nice to see you. Hi, Sadika. Hi, Naomi. Hi, Kat. So lovely to see you all on this really, really hot day. Is it hot where you are? I'm in Manchester now and it is boiling, really, really hot. My name is Claire and every week I will be cooking delicious recipes from the Heart and Parcel cookbook and also some extra special dishes as well. Welcome back to old students. It's really good to see you here tonight. And new students, welcome. I hope you enjoy this lesson. If you do like this lesson, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get updates on new lessons coming up in the future. If you find the lesson too easy, no problem. You can write in the chat and ask our teachers more questions so to push your English further. If you find the lesson too difficult, no problem. Please talk to the teachers, ask them questions, and you can watch this video back at any time. If you need to leave, it's no problem. The video will be on our YouTube channel. So how is everybody today? Hi, Veronica. Lovely to see you from Scotland. And Nabila, welcome. I heard you in the garden drinking mint tea. Sounds absolutely gorgeous. I hope it's lovely where you are. Really, really great to see everyone coming out tonight. We've got a delicious recipe, very, very healthy and very, very delicious. I've actually made it quite a few times before because it's one of my favorites from the cookbook. And there's lots of interesting stories behind this dish. But before we start, I want to ask you some questions. So I have 3 questions for you. 3 questions for you. Question number 1. How are you feeling today? How are you feeling today? Question number 2. What celebrations do you most look forward to? Why? Question number 2. What celebrations do you most look forward to? Why? Could be birthdays, could be weddings, anything. Question 3. Have you ever had a cooking disaster? Question 3. Have you ever had a cooking disaster? Something wrong in the kitchen, something went bad in the kitchen. Question 1, how are you feeling today? Question 2, what celebration are you most looking forward to? Why? Question 3, have you ever had a cooking disaster? What happened? Remember to type your answers in the chat, or you can speak out loud now, or you can write it down in a notebook or on paper, or you can stop the recording if you're watching back and speak now. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So whilst you're thinking, I'm going to answer my questions. Maybe they're similar, and then I'll look in the chat. So I'm feeling, can you guess? Very hot today because in Manchester it's around 28, 29 degrees and there is no wind outside. So it's very, very hot. But I feel quite relaxed because of it. Question number 2. What celebration am I most looking forward to? I would say Christmas. That usually happens in December. In the UK on the 25th of December, Christmas Day. And I really like it because I eat a lot of foods and I get together with my friends and my family over the Christmas period and the holidays. And we spend time together, we cook and we play games and we relax and meet after a long year of working and other life. And number 3, cooking disaster. I've had many cooking disasters, many cooking disasters. I burn a lot of things. There's one time I made a big meal for my family, and then when we finished the whole meal, I realized I'd forgotten to get the food from the oven. There were 2 more dishes that I left in the oven. So I had not finished the entire meal. I was so upset. Let's have a look in the chat here. Aisha, Sadiqa, Wendy, you're feeling good, you're feeling hot, and you're feeling tired. I think we're all the same. This is the funny thing. And let's see. Some of the teachers are sharing. That's great. Laura, you're most looking forward to Christmas. Same with me. Christmas period, cats. Yep, it's friends, family, good foods. Hi, Lisa. Lovely to see you. Feeling nice? Great. Najat, feeling hot as well? Yes, this is always the case when it's this kind of weather. And Veronica says, you're feeling excited because tomorrow you're going on holiday. And you like to celebrate birthdays. Yes, they are always a lovely, lovely time of year because there is always nice cake and singing. Where are you going on holiday, Veronica? And what, most importantly, are you going to eat? Kat, yes, baking disasters. Sometimes many things are undercooked and the cake is gooey. Absolutely. Carolina, you love Easter. Fantastic. Can you say why? Wendy, it's Christmas. Yes, I forgot about the presents. Lots of food, lots of presents. Really important. Hanan is just sharing her food disaster. She put, instead of putting sugar in her tea, she put salt for her guest. Oh, that's a big disaster. Oh, Cyprus, Veronica, that looks great. Oh dear, and it just didn't cook your cake. Fantastic. Lots of great stuff here, guys. This is brilliant. Nabila, great to hear that your birthday is coming up soon. Exciting. And your wedding anniversary on the same day. Tell us what you're going to eat. Rizwana, always cooking, making biryani. Fantastic. And Aisha, you're looking forward to Festal. Oh, what's Festal? I've never heard of that before. All your families getting together. Really good answers, guys. Well done. Let's get started with the lesson, shall we? We've got a few things to do today and some new ingredients. So I have a task for you. I'm going to give you 1 minute to write down all of the ingredients on the table. If you are used to this, if you've been coming every week, you know what you need to do. You need to say more information about each ingredient. What color, the quantity, perhaps if you've cooked with it before. Maybe you can talk about the utensils. Maybe you can look and see what other things are on the table. Try to write as much as possible. For new students, just say what you see. Some ingredients will be familiar and some quite new. Not so familiar. Let's see if you can guess them. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. So, take a look. We've got quite a lot of small ingredients today. I wonder if you can name all of them in English. Keep typing. Don't worry about spelling for the moment. Writing down the shape, maybe the size. Can you get some more adjectives there? Different colors? What can you see? Keep writing. Try to move to everything on the table. Put in more ingredients, more adjectives here. Keep writing. And think about whether you've used them before. Have a look. 20 seconds. Keep going. Keep going. Maybe you can start to write what kind of ingredients they are. Keep typing. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. Okay. That was interesting. We had some answers in the chat. Maybe at home you had some that you were speaking out. I've got some good answers in there actually, but I know that there are some very new ingredients here. So this can be quite difficult. Brilliant. I'm seeing lots of good ideas here. Well done. Some exactly right. Some, let's have a look in more detail. So let's go straight to the board here. You'll notice we have a lot of lentils. Lentils. Now, I think these are quite interesting because we haven't worked with them before. You have this word here. Can you repeat? Split. Split. And then we have the ingredient afterwards. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first one is split chickpeas. Split chickpeas. These are little yellow peas, or what we call pulses. All of these are pulses. They're a type of legume or pulse. And split, what does it mean? To break in half. To break in half. So we have split chickpeas, kind of yellow color. And then the next one, green mung bean. Green mung bean I have here. Also in half. I'll explain why in a minute. After that, we have a type of lentil. Black lentil, just the color. Black lentil. Did you see that? So very dry ingredient. And finally, red lentils. Red lentils. Did you get the color? Maybe, I think some of you got the word lentils, that's great. But all of these, beans, chickpeas, lentils, these are all pulses. Pulses. After that, we have that water. That's very important for this dish. And then I have all my spices here. We have chili powder. Did you catch the red one? very spicy, chili powder. You can say out loud with me to get the pronunciation. Here, turmeric, turmeric. And we've cooked a lot with this one. A very orange, yellow powder, usually from a root. Next, we have ground coriander. And we put here ground when we want to describe the opposite of seed. So coriander normally is in a seed. But today we're going to use the ground version. Ground coriander. We also have coriander here in a leaf form. Fresh coriander. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? You can write in the chat. And then we have two other ingredients here for our first part. 2 seeds. So before we have pulses, then we have powder, and now we have 2 seeds. Nigella seeds or black seeds, as I saw in the chat, and Adrain seeds. These are very special seeds that I hadn't seen before this dish, but now I learned something new. It looks like a lot, but don't worry, you can get all of these ingredients very cheap in your local supermarket or big shop. Very easy, just look for these ingredients. Then we have this second column, and this will be the end of our dish. We have, can you say? Oil. Oil, you can say out loud at home. Afterwards, we have another seed. So this is not ground, this is cumin seeds. Not ground cumin, but cumin seeds. It's very nice, very bitter. Smells like lemon sometimes, I think. After that, did you see my onions on the table? What size? What color? Say medium brown onion. After that, we have our garlic. Remember, bulb and cloves, the clove of garlic. After that, we've also got some other vegetables here. So this is a kind of root vegetable. And we say ginger, ginger. It's one of my favorites. I use this in a lot of tea as well, and not just cooking. And finally, we have tomatoes. Nice and red and juicy, perhaps. Then, of course, our fresh coriander. Maybe you know some of them, maybe they're new, but maybe you've never seen this dish before. What do you think I'm going to be making? What do you think I'm going to be making? Can you guess? Let me see in the chat. What do you think this could be? I love to make this dish when I am on a diet, and also when I am maybe wanting something quick and easy. Lisa, soup? Kind of like a soup. I'm going to be making dal chawal. So this is 4 lentil stew with rice. This was given by our dear friend, this beautiful picture of our lovely friend Shamim Some of you know her from our classes. Wonderful lady, very intelligent, was a teacher in Pakistan, and now she lives in the UK with her family. And she gave us this amazing recipe. And I'm really looking forward to telling you about her recipe story because it's quite interesting. She has a special celebration, but a cooking disaster happens with this dish. Can you guess what happened? We'll find out in a little bit. I'll tell you a bit more about the story whilst I'm cooking. So before I start, I want you to be listening and learning and developing English as we go. I have a task for you. As I'm cooking, every single ingredient, I want you to think about how I prepare it. So, what verbs do I use to describe the action of my ingredient? For example, with the tomato, what do I do to the tomato? Try to catch the verb, write it down, and then I will test you at the end. English test. If that's too easy and you want more challenge, I want you to get the quantities of all of the ingredients. If you're thinking, it's too easy, I want more, okay, I'll give you utensils. Tell me about all the utensils I use. All right, let's start. I'm really looking forward to this. This is a great story, a great dish. First of all, you take your pulses, 75 grams of each. So that's 75 grams of chickpeas, 75 grams of mung beans, 75 grams of the black lentils, and 75 grams of the red lentils. All together, I want you to put it into a tray and fill with water. And you're going to leave it to soak. You're going to leave it to soak for 2 hours. 2 hours. Whilst that's soaking, in your pan on your cooker, you're going to get some water. You're going to need 1 liter of water. Fresh water, cold water, hot water, doesn't matter. And you're going to pour the water into your pan. After that, Shamim advises us to add some spices. So we're going to take some of the powder here. You're going to need 1/4 of a teaspoon. 1/4 of a teaspoon. Do you remember your fractions from last week? Whole, half, 1/4 of a teaspoon of chili powder. Sprinkle that in. 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric. Sprinkle that in. 1/4 of a teaspoon of ajwain seeds. Sprinkle that in. Finally, 1/4 of a teaspoon of nigella seeds. Are you with me so far? Then you want to add some salt. This is very, very important. I'm going to add some salt to the water, to flavor, to season. After that, I'm going to start the cooker on a high heat. And what expression do I use to describe something to get really hot? What expression do I use to start something to get really hot? Can you write in the chat or think about it? Next, you cover the lid, and good, Lisa, is boiling, but we say the boil. 4 words. The boil. Do we know? I'll leave you to think about that one because it's quite a good way to describe something when you are talking about everything. Good, Veronica. Nice. Bring to the boil. So when you're talking about cooking, you put the pan on high heat and bring the water to the boil. I almost forgot my ground coriander. I almost had a cooking disaster. When Shamim was cooking this dish, do you know what celebration she was cooking for? So actually, it was her wedding. Shamim said that this dish reminds her of her wedding. And we love this. I was so interested. I thought, why is she cooking on her wedding day or her wedding feast? But she said that this dish was the big dish afterwards when everyone comes to eat. So she was cooking and she made it and spent ages in the kitchen. When she started to bring everything to the boil and she began to cook, once she had finished the dish, she suddenly realized something. What do you think her cooking disaster was? What do you think she realized? I'm going to leave you to guess that in a little bit. So our lentils or our chickpeas and our beans have been soaking for 2 hours. Imagine. Next. I usually use, what do you usually use to drain this kind of thing? What do you usually use to drain? This week, because the lentils and pulses are so small, I need to use something a little bit finer. Yeah? So normally we use a colander, but today I'm using a sieve. A sieve. Wow, can you see all the colors? It's such a beautiful dish because normally with dal or lentil stew, you just have one lentil. But this one has 4 different types. And I love it because it just looks so impressive already. So you leave to drain off the lentils and the beans and the peas. I can see now that our pan is, when you bring it to the boil, you then wait till it comes to the boil. And so you have to, after that, add in your lentils. Farhat, this is a very famous dish in Pakistan. This is great. Tell me about it. When do you use it? When do you make it? Do you like it? And what celebration do you use it for if you make it? Hi, Paramita. Lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Next, I'm going to pour my lentils in to the pot. And you can see that is creating a lovely color with the turmeric. And it should be pretty boiling by now. Should be pretty boiling by now. We don't want it on that high heat, because what will happen if it's on the high heat? What will happen if it's on the high heat? It will, what disaster might happen? Can you guess? And then I'm going to turn it down really, really low to a small heat. What do we call this? A small heat. Really, really low, down to a good Queen Nazunik burn. Brilliant. Great spelling as well. Yes, Wendy, it could spill over. It could bubble up. Absolutely. Ah, Farhat, you call this Halim. Interesting. I thought Halim had meat in it, didn't it? Yes, Veronica, it could burn over, correct. Or it could burn at the bottom and stick to it. So I'm going to turn it down, cover, and leave to simmer. I'm going to leave it to simmer, usually for 45 minutes. For 45 minutes. And this way, it will cook together nicely and will be very, very full and thick. Very nice. Ah, this is interesting. I'm really interested in all the different names for this dish. This is great. So, we've done our first stew, and I'm going to move on to the topping. But before I do, did you guess the disaster that Shamim made in her wedding day with the lentil stew? What happened? Can you guess? Have a think. Any ideas? Whilst I'm waiting, I'm going to take my ginger, and with this utensil, can you guess what it is? I'm going to peel maybe about 3 centimeters of ginger. 3 centimeters of ginger. Using this utensil. So peeling the top of the skin off and just making sure that most of the skin is peeled off. Okay. After that, good, Wendy. Peeler. It's a peeler. After that, I'm going to use my, what am I doing? Good. Thank you, Veronica. Nice sentence there. Lisa, so you think that maybe Shamim spilt her dish? She spilt her dish? Possibly. That's interesting. That's not the correct answer, though. Well done, Wendy. This is a grater. And I'm just going to make sure that the ginger is grated nice and finely for our topping. No one can guess. Well, I will tell you, Shamin was cooking all day and she finished her dish and she served it up to all of her friends and her family on her big wedding day. Very important. And she'd forgotten to salt. She'd forgotten to season the whole dish. So there was no salt in there. It was too bland. She thought, oh my God. She was so embarrassed. And now every day or every time they talk about the wedding, they always remember the wedding dal chawal. They always remember it had no salt, no flavor. She was so sad. But she will never forget her wedding. This is important, right? I don't know. Yeah, Lisa, that's exactly the same reaction that I had when she told me. So I feel sad for her, but you know, sometimes we can laugh at these things, right? So 6 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to use my mortar and pestle first, but I want you to mince the garlic. To mince the garlic. Do you know this word? Mince. What does it mean? Yes, Paramita, without a disaster, without salt, it is an absolute disaster, I would say. Yeah, Lisa, she was too excited about her wedding, I think. I think she will definitely admit that as well. It's a very important day for some people, so. What does mince mean? What does mince mean? Just getting my garlic. Now my garlic's a little bit old because it's sprouting already, some roots, but that's okay. It will still taste absolutely fine. Should never waste. Just going to check on my dal. Oh, wow. That's looking really, really good. I'll show you that later. Thank you, Sadiqa. Exactly right. Very, very small chopped. Very minced, small chopped. That's absolutely right. You guys are good today. Do you feel like you're learning a lot of vocabulary? Or maybe you've just learned a lot over the course. So I'm going to take it out. And as Sadiqa said, I'm going to chop very finely. Chop very finely. To mince. I'd like to see if you would like to ask any questions about this dish, or maybe any questions about the class. We have some time because I need to cook the lentils for a bit. So if you want to ask any questions, please write in the chat. You can ask me anything. Try who, what, where, when, why, or how. Write any questions in the chat. Well done, Kana. I've just seen that you've correctly said mince as well. Mince, well done, Paramita. You can just put in any questions you like. Wendy, you like adding lots of garlic to your pork chops. That's great. I think garlic is such a good ingredient to have in any kind of cooking lesson or any kind of cooking recipe, because everyone loves it. Everyone has it. It's very easy to get anywhere, right? After that, we get onion, 1 onion, and you chop it or dice it. You chop or dice here. And I've done that before so that I don't cry. You remember that my eyes, I keep on crying. That's always a disaster in the kitchen. Great, Sadiqa. Lovely question. How many times have I cooked this dish? So I've cooked this dish around about 4 times now. So when Shamim gave this recipe, we published the cookbook last year, and the recipe she made came out, and then I straight away wanted to try out the recipes by the ladies who gave their dishes. So I made it first there, and I loved it so much. I made it again, and then I made it again for my friends. And then I made it again when I was trying to eat more healthily. It's a really good dish as well. And it has no meat in it. So it's vegan or vegetarian. And I think it looks really impressive, actually, because of the color of the lentils and the pulses. Thank you for your question, Sadiqa. Do you guys have any other questions? Lisa, good question. How long do I make this dish behind the camera? Yes, this takes around, that's a really good question, actually. This takes around about 3 hours to cook normally. So about 2 hours to soak the lentils and the pulses. And then afterwards, around 45 minutes to cook the lentils. And then also to do the topping, which I'm doing right now. So yes, around about 3 hours. But I make it throughout the day. Yes. Great, Rizwana. I've got a lovely story here from Rizwana. You usually make this at your mother's house and make a mixed dal and make it with 4 different things. So dal, I think in Urdu is like split. I think it means the same thing. Let me know. Hanan is asking a question. Have I cooked this dish for my parents? Do you know I haven't actually? I haven't cooked this dish for my parents. And I don't know why. I think they haven't been to, because my parents live in Cambridge. So they haven't been to Manchester recently. And because of the situation, I haven't seen them for a while. So yeah, I think I haven't cooked it for them. But I've cooked it for my friends, and yeah, it's fine. It's nice. Ah, thank you, Paramita. Dal means lentils. Both are the same word. Thank you. So what does split mean then? What does split mean? You know, Paramita, when it's in half, how do you say that in your language? So I'm waiting for that to come to the boil. And as I said, that will take around about 45 minutes. So next, I'm going to take a frying pan and I'm going to add some oil. Maybe around 2 tablespoons will be just fine for that. Is that more than 2 tablespoons? Possibly. And to that, I'm going to fry the onions and the cumin seeds. The onions and the cumin seeds together. We're going to make a little bit of the topping now. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds with the onions. You can use ghee as well. And fry them together. Yes, Lisa, you can cook the lentils or soak the lentils overnight. and then have them in the morning. But I think because they are split, it takes less time to soak. So we're going to fry the onions until they are golden brown. How do you think it smells? Can you give me any adjectives to describe? I have a question for you now, if there are no more questions for me. Tell me about your worst cooking disaster. So how can we describe as many different things that go wrong in the kitchen? You've already mentioned some: to spill over, to burn, too bland. But what other ones do we have in the kitchen? Try to use your English vocabulary to come up with some ideas. Pop them in the chat, or you can think about them and we'll go through them in a little bit. So that's cooking up nicely. It's being absolutely wonderful. And I can't wait to serve this up. I think we're going to eat this for dinner tonight. I can't wait. I'm really excited. What ways can we use to describe what other things can go wrong in the kitchen? You tell me. Maybe you've had an experience. Write in the chat. Or if you can't think of any now, you can definitely talk in our Zoom class tomorrow from 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. From 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. Oh, Aisha, oh, to cut off your finger. Yeah, I really, really, really hope that didn't happen to you. Did it happen to you? So yes, sometimes we have a knife accident. So we can slice our fingers or cut ourselves when we are chopping, or we can burn ourselves. This is a big problem, right? So to these cumin seeds and the onion seeds, going to add my fresh ginger. And my garlic. Oh, Farhat, tell me, what was your disaster? I know what's going to happen here if I don't turn the heat down. I'm going to burn the bottom. I need to be careful. So again, just stirring all of the cumin and the onions and the ginger and the garlic together. And it's so delicious. Lots and lots of tasty, aromatic flavors that are coming out of there. It's really delicious. Ah, Farhad, you cut your finger as well? Yes, Wendy, that's definitely another thing. So unlike shamim, you put too much salt in. So it's very, very, very salty. Too much soy sauce. Absolutely. And can you see here? It's almost burnt a little bit on the bottom, but it's not too bad. I think I've done okay with that. And finally, you want to add your chopped tomatoes. What sound can you hear? How do you describe that sound? What sound do you hear? How can you describe that sound? Paramita, yeah, that's a really good sentence. Well done. Cooking is a great art, but not for beginners. As a beginner, you made a mistake every day. So you were burning your finger, doing a problem. Yeah. But this is how we learn, right? You need to make the mistakes to improve for next time. It's so important. Good. Aisha, well done. Sizzle. This sound is sizzle. To sizzle. Fantastic. Well done, everybody. So you're going to mix this all together. I'm going to add some pepper here. Really important. And make sure that I season it. Shamim would be so happy with me to season her dish. And you keep on mixing. So usually it will come to a nice mixture. Maybe you can chop the tomatoes a bit more finely. Great. I love the sound of cooking. There's lots of visual art of cooking, but there's also sounds. Maybe we'll look at that another time. So, whilst I am waiting for the chopping just to cook a little bit more, can you remember what I did to each ingredient? Can you remember what I did to each ingredient? Are you ready? Are you sure? So, I have my verbs here for you. These were the verbs that I said. But what ingredient did I say them about? What ingredient did I say them about? I have here soak, drain, cook, cover, fry, minced, not minced, not minced, minced, chopped, and simmer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Soak. What ingredient did I soak? Tell me, what ingredient did I soak? First answers in the chat wins the point. What ingredients did I soak? Does anyone have any ideas? Are you all thinking, having a little think about it? Aha, good, Aisha. 4 lentils, can you name them? What were they? Soak lentils, drain pulses. Good, they were pulses, well done. Soak the pulses, drain the pulses. Well done. Next one, cook. What did I cook? Can you guess? What did I cook? What did I cook? Brilliant, Rizwana, thank you. Yeah, you're right. It's the half, isn't it? So what did I cook? Does anyone know? There's quite a few answers for these, actually. I'm hoping that you'll get them. Yes, Sadiqa, I cooked the lentils. What else did I cook? Good. On a medium heat. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm cooking the mixed lentils. Good kinana. I'm cooking the spices. Yes, dal chawal is the dish. Well done, Lisa. Well done. Cover. What did I cover? You're thinking more maybe about the utensil, perhaps? What did I cover? Good, Siddiqa. I fried the onion. I fried the onion. Anything else I fried? What about minced? Surely you must remember that one. Can you say it at home? Minced. Great. I minced let me write these down because these are really good. Soak the pulses. Drain the pulses. So all of those 4 ingredients there. I cooked the dal chawal or the lentil stew. I covered the boiling water. Good. Yes, I covered the water. I covered the pots. Well done, Hanan. I covered just the entire mixture, didn't I? So I can cover the stew. I fried, as Siddiqa said, I fried the onion. I also fried the... Any other answers in there? No? Okay, I fried the tomato. I minced the garlic. A lot of you got it there. Well done, well done, well done. Yes. Great students. I'm very impressed. Chopped the... What did I chop? And I didn't cut myself. What did I chop? Tomato. Good, Siddiqa. And simmered the entire stew. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom there. Simmer. Well done, well done. And if you got your quantities, you can put them in the chat now and the teachers will check them for you. Having a look at cooking disasters. So here we have different ways to say when something goes wrong. So overcooked. I think Kat said that her cake was overcooked or undercooked, actually. Well, we'll get to that one in a minute. But overcooked means that it can be burnt. Burnt, B-U-R-N-T. I'll write that clearly on the board for you. And also can be dry. So if you're cooking meat and you cook for a long time, it's very dry. Undercooked. So like Kat's cake, sorry, Kat. It can be raw. This is an interesting word. Maybe you'll cover this tomorrow in your lesson. Raw. Raw. So it can be raw meat or a raw cake. So it just means not cooked. Or it means that the dish can be cold, and some people don't like cold food. Well done. Someone mentioned before is too much salt. So you can say it's too salty. It was too salty. Too much sugar. Too sweet. Lisa, you picked this up as well. Spillages. So to have spills or spilling something. And missing ingredients. This can be another one. I didn't have the knife one, so well done, Aisha, for bringing that idea up. Missing ingredients is my #1 disaster. I always forget an ingredient. There's just too many things to remember. So let's plate up now. I think it's time to eat. And I've got here some delicious stew. And also, we usually would serve this with rice as well. So I've got a lovely, lovely rice. Just going to decorate my area here. So normally you would bring this with rice. And I would serve this up. I've just cooked this earlier. and you leave it to dry. Just make sure that it's nice and ready. Perfect. My rice on the side, maybe a little sprinkle of Nigella on the top, just to give it a little bit of decoration. Then I've got my lovely, lovely dal. Wow. So this should be like a kind of very thick consistency, not too thin. You want it to be nice and thick. And look at that color. I love the way it looks. And with the flavor already gently and delicately infused, it's really, really delicious here. So this is a beautiful dish. And of course, don't forget, the topping really makes it. Normally you'd cook it for a little bit longer, but I think this just looks great. And it can be, as Rizwana said, you can put it on the side and cook up lots of different dals and just have it as one side dish. And finally, maybe some chopped coriander on top to garnish or to decorate there. And always, I think Shamim would love me to say that you always need to cook and season with salt as you go through. So, so, so important. So, thank you very much for coming to watch me today. And remember, we have a Zoom class tomorrow. It's a really great way to practice your English speaking and listening with all of our qualified English teachers. Come and join us. There aren't too many sessions left, so I would make the most of these free sessions. It would be really lovely to see you there. I'm just going to try this and just see if I've had enough salt. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect because I learned from Shamim's mistake. Thank you so much. Well done, everybody, for contributing and engaging today. I'll send the homework in the email and also in the WhatsApp group. Keep showing, keep sharing your wonderful dishes. Keep talking to each other and stay happy and healthy. Thank you so much. It's absolutely wonderful to see you tonight. And enjoy your Zoom class tomorrow at 6. Goodbye.